Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever told a story and felt like your listeners were getting the timeline mixed up? Like, which event happened first? It's a common problem, and today we're going to solve it with a super useful tool, the past perfect tense. By the end of this video, you'll be using it like a pro to tell your stories with perfect clarity. So what exactly is the past perfect? Simply put, we use it when we're talking about the past and we want to mention something that happened even earlier in the past. Think of it as the past of the past. It helps us sequence events so our listeners can easily follow along. The formula is pretty straightforward. You just use had plus the past participle of the main verb. For example, I had eaten, she had finished, they had left. Let's look at a simple example to see it in action. Imagine you want to say two things happened yesterday. You arrived at the station and the train left. If you say, when I arrived at the station, the train left, it sounds like those two things happened at the exact same time. As you stepped onto the platform, the train started moving. But what if the train left before you got there? That's where the past perfect comes in. You would say, when I arrived at the station, the train had already left. See the difference? The action of the train leaving happened before the action of you arriving. The past perfect makes the sequence of events crystal clear. Let's practice this with a little story. Imagine a friend, Sarah, telling you about her morning. She says, I was so frustrated this morning. I got to the office at 9:05 a.m., but I missed the important team meeting. To add more detail and clarify the timeline, she could use the past perfect. I was so frustrated this morning. By the time I got to the office at 9:05, the important team meeting had already started. This tells us the meeting began before she arrived. Maybe she continues, my boss was not happy. I had forgotten to set my alarm the night before. Her forgetting the alarm happened before she woke up late, which happened before she missed the meeting. It creates a clear chain of events. Now let's make this interactive. I'm going to give you two simple past sentences, and you can try to combine them using the past perfect. Ready? Sentence 1, I finished my homework. Sentence 2, my friends came over. The homework was finished first. How would you combine them? You could say, by the time my friends came over, I had finished my homework. Or, I had finished my homework before my friends came over. Great job. Let's try another one. Sentence 1, he cooked dinner. Sentence 2, his wife got home. The cooking happened first. Pause the video and think about it. You got it. When his wife got home, he had cooked dinner. This implies a delicious meal was waiting for her. It paints a much better picture than just saying, he cooked dinner and his wife got home. That sounds more like a list, not a story. The past perfect is also fantastic for expressing regret or talking about things that didn't happen as planned. For instance, I wished I had studied harder for the exam. This means you didn't study hard and now you regret it. Or, if I had known you were coming, I would have baked a cake. This is a classic example of what we call the third conditional, which uses the past perfect to talk about an imaginary past situation. It shows that you didn't know, and therefore you didn't bake a cake. It's a powerful way to talk about hypotheticals in the past. Let's look at questions and negative forms. They're just as easy. For questions, you simply invert had and the subject. For example, had you eaten before you went to the party? The negative is formed by adding not after had. You'll often hear the contraction hadn't. For example, he couldn't get into his house because he hadn't brought his keys. Or, she failed the test because she hadn't studied. Let's dive into a conversation to hear how it flows naturally. Let's imagine two friends, Alex and Ben, are catching up. Alex, hey Ben, you look exhausted. What's up? Ben, you have no idea, Alex. I had the worst travel day yesterday. My flight was delayed by 3 hours. Alex, oh no. What happened? Ben, well, first I got to the airport super early. I had checked in online, so I thought I'd have plenty of time to relax. Alex, smart move. So what went wrong? Ben, by the time I got through security, they announced the delay. It turned out there was a technical problem with the plane that they hadn't discovered during the pre-flight check. Alex, that's so frustrating. So you were just stuck at the airport? Ben, exactly. And I was starving. I hadn't eaten breakfast because I was in a rush to leave the house. I ended up buying the most expensive sandwich of my life. Alex, haha, airport prices are a nightmare. What about your connecting flight? Ben, well, that's the thing. By the time we finally landed, my connecting flight had already departed. I had to spend the night in Chicago. I wished I had booked a direct flight. Did you catch all the uses of the past perfect in that conversation? Ben said he had checked in online before he got to the airport. The technical problem hadn't been discovered before the delay was announced. He hadn't eaten before he got to the airport, and his connecting flight had already departed before his first flight landed. Finally, he wished he had booked a direct flight, expressing a past regret. Each use of the past perfect adds a layer of information, making the story clear and engaging. So, to recap, the past perfect is your best friend when you need to talk about an action that happened before another action in the past. It clarifies sequences, expresses regrets, and is essential for telling good stories. The key is to remember the structure, had, plus the past participle. Start listening for it when you watch movies or read books, and try using it in your own conversations. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this lesson has helped you understand the past perfect a little better. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more English lessons. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want to practice by writing a sentence using the past perfect. I'd love to see your examples. See you in the next video. Bye for now.